What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Believers After Dark right here on Saved and the City TV with your girl, Iberia. Yes, you guys are locked to the right place at the right time for your kingdom solutions for real world issues. I'm so excited to be here again for another amazing episode of Believers After Dark. It's real, it's raw, it's uncut, but it's absolutely necessary. And today's topic is one that I'm sure most of you are going to find pretty interesting. It's dealing with the masculinity crisis in the church. I'll let y'all marinate on that for a second. Because what does that actually mean? Well, I'm so excited that I don't have to talk about it all by myself or try to figure it out. I have some amazing guests that are here with us in the Believers After Dark studio tonight. And that is going to be what we're chatting about. But again, if this is your first time tuning into Believers After Dark, welcome. And you guys might see these little random stones that are around. And I was thinking about, I think Pastor Skip can get with me on this. I should probably market these, put believers on there.
Go for it.
But basically it's just a reminder that he without sin cast the first stone. We all have sinned and come short of the glory. In the moment you start casting stones, be careful because your own glass house might very well end up tumbling down. Is that all right? I hope it's all right. Just don't throw no stones and everything will be just fine. All right. Well, without further ado, thank you so much to our sponsors, Neo Soul Productions and Talk Consulting. They're in the studio with us as well today. I could not do this without the both of you, so I'm so appreciative. And then also in the studio, we'll start this way and go around. We have Pastor Skip, Dr. Joel, and Jolanda. So why don't we start by giving just a brief introduction of who you are in the city, what you do, and why you do it.
Skip Henderson, pastor of World Outreach and Bible Training Center in Milwaukee on 34th and Silver Spring. I pastor that. I also have the number one faith-based sports talk show in the entire world.
Yes.
My wife is an author.
Yes.
I'm a grandfather. I'm a father of four.
Wonderful.
And I'm doing an amazing men's conference, which I want you to be a part of.
Yes.
And we can talk about it now or later.
Yeah, we can talk about it a little bit later. Yeah. But you guys definitely want to make sure that you stay tuned for it because we're going to be there because we also just learned that they're opening some space up for the ladies.
Yeah.
So it's a men's conference, but we're going to get a little segment of it. I can't wait to hear a little bit more about that. Right. So, Dr. Joel.
Sure. Dr. Joel Peterson. First of all, I'm the executive director for Playworks, Wisconsin. And then I'm also a PhD graduate with theology as my background with emphasis in counseling.
Yes.
And so...
and one of my college best friends from way back in the day. Yes.
Howard graduate.
Hey,
right
ain't you?
Yeah. I am a father of four as well. Mm-hmm. And this is a topic that is near and dear to my heart because I have three boys.
Yes. Yes.
And to have an open dialogue and discussion about masculinity is something that happens a lot in my house, but I believe it's something that needs to happen outside of the house as well. So just looking forward to the dialogue and
Absolutely.
conversation.
And Jolanda.
All right, it's good to be here again. Jolanda Rogers, Talk Consulting. Tell your story, accept your truth, learn your identity, know your strength. I'm just honored to sit across from these two outstanding men in our community to have that conversation and to really introduce to the world that they are here. We're across from the number one faith-based sports show in the world.
Number one.
Into his court. Into his court.
Into his court.
I love it.
Yeah. So
and ding, and then the game begins. Round one. Oh my goodness. So let's just kind of jump right in. So again, the topic at hand is the crisis of masculinity in the church. And when I sent the topic to you guys initially, what were your initial thoughts about that? Do you believe that there's a crisis of masculinity? What does that even mean?
I think it's a crisis of masculinity across the world, period. It's just not in the church. Mm-hmm. And I think part of it is because masculinity is learned. Oh. It's learned. It's learned behavior. Mm-hmm. I learned how to be masculine from being around my uncles who were sports guys and just that generation of just real rugged men. And so my masculinity comes out different. Now you have some men that are brought up around their mothers because their fathers weren't. Their masculinity comes off different. And so the crisis, I believe, if there is one, it's what these men are identifying as being masculine.
Yeah. There's a distorted definition of masculinity.
Okay.
Right? That's going around. And as Pastor Skip said, it's not in the church. When you look at the school systems, you have probably 70% women teachers, right? When you look at all of these different entities and institutions, they're dominated by women, and men are getting, and especially boys, are getting their idea of what masculinity is, not from another man. Right. But from a woman, which is distorted in its way in the first place. And so it is really important. I love what you said, that masculinity is taught. Masculinity is mentored. Right? There's no such thing. So you have a female intuition, right?
Yeah.
You get to spend 9 months with a baby inside of you, right? That's a constant reminder of everything. That's not the case for men.
Interesting.
Right? That masculinity has to be mentored into you.
Interesting.
And so there is no the intuition or things that come up that just pop in your head. It has to be mentored. And whether it's going to be mentored by a pastor, whether it's going to be mentored by a teacher, it has to be mentored by, hopefully we want it to be mentored by a father,
uncle,
somebody,
or something like that. But it has to be mentored in, because
village.
if it's not, then you're going to hold on to one of these distorted definitions of masculinity, which we have enough of.
So, I mean, it completely distorted. Go ahead, Jolanda.
Yeah, and I got a question, because you guys are saying that masculinity has to be taught and mentored, which I completely understand that notion, and the fact that our boys are being taught by 70% female teachers, and part of that is the women having to step in to do their job because of the crisis that we see because of that absence. So, like, I have a son. There are certain things that he does as a boy. I didn't teach him that.
That's where when they said that, I'm like,
up in this world, jumping over his sister's heads, flipping off couches, doing unreasonable things that I didn't teach him, So like, he came in with the intrinsic sense of being in the masculine sense, but like in terms of keeping that develop, he has his dad, but I'm guessing for boys that don't, what does that look like?
They begin to,
so good.
Because here's the situation. Now, if it was just you, you would have told him, stop that.
I still do. I'll be scared.
But his dad says,
let him go.
Let him be a boy. Let him develop into what he's going to be. And a lot of times what women don't understand, most men learn from trial and error. It ain't necessarily book learning. It's, I did that hurt, I'm not doing that again. Or I did that felt good, so I may do that again. And so when you take a man who learns from hands-on and you try to make him into a book learner, a conversation learner, and that's not how they're made, okay, how much you talk to them, you're not going to get the results you're looking at.
Wow.
And so when mothers sit down and say, I'm going to have a talk with my son about, he's listening because he respects his mom. But the reality of it, if a man has that conversation with, he listens to him because there's something in me that connects with you because that's who I am or that's what I want to be.
Right. I feel, and I've seen over and over and over, people spank the masculine out of the child.
Wow.
Wow.
Beat the boy out you.
Yeah.
Why does that sound funny to me?
No, but because every time that something riles up in him, they'll no, you can't do that, right?
But sometimes no, he can't do that. You're not about to act a whole fool up in this restaurant.
Like so here with my boys, right? There's and you know them, right?
I love your boys. Yes.
There's a element of me that's proud when they rise up. Now I'm gonna take care of it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to handle it.
Yeah.
Because there's a when and a where,
Yeah.
a place to do this.
It has to be guided.
It has to be guided. But I'm not going to take this out of you. This lion that's in you, I'm not going to take it out of you.
Right.
Because there's going to come a time and a place where you're going to need that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm not taking it out of you. I'm just going to guide it. And you know, you're not going to get out of hand. You're not going to disrespect your mother or anything like that.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, I'm going to guide that lion. I'm not going to try to take it out of you. That lion is necessary.
And then in the world that we live in today, I'm just throwing, and I hate to say devil's advocate because I am not an advocate for the devil. But in the world that we live in today, there are some that may say, or not even may say, but that will have even the story that they grew up in a male and female home, not just raised by a mom, and they had feminine tendencies, and they were more drawn to playing with dolls or whatever that we would consider, more feminine, and so. Do you guide that? You know what I mean? Because that's the other part. Or do you, because I heard us saying, when we were talking about the mother will tell them, no, don't be masculine. Or so is it wrong then for someone to say, no, you shouldn't be? I mean, I understand, but I'm saying for those people who feel like, no, this is how he is. Let him be. Let him find himself if he's going in another direction.
So, I mean, that's crucial.
I'm just saying.
It's crucial, right?
Because there's a lot of people that will say that.
And I'm traditional.
Yeah.
All right. So, with my boys wanting to play in my wife's hair, and comb it, and no
wigs,
no.
high heels,
no. And so, and I don't feel bad about it because I do believe that there are roles.
Yeah.
We love to talk about this masculine, feminine role without entering into biology.
I think the other thing is they want everything to be in the gray and not black and white.
Right.
Yeah.
They want everything in the gray. So if it's in the gray, then I'm not offending anybody. And now you're allowed to make your own decisions on what you want to be versus gender and all that. But the reality of it is first of all, if I have a child that has feminine tendencies and he's supposed to be a young man, I go get the word. And the Bible says that I am to transform this child by the renewing of their mind. And so somewhere you got a thought in your head that wasn't dealt with, that wasn't addressed, that wasn't cleansed.
Or you've been exposed to something.
Or something. Exactly. That created a thought.
Oh, yeah.
The devil, I always say the devil deals in what I call TIS, T-I-S, thoughts, ideas, and suggestions. And so he can't make you do anything, but he can give you a suggestion. You might like guys, or you might like girls. And so what you have to do as a father, let me help you understand what a man is. Number two, let me help you understand what my expectations of you as a man is. I want you to be a man's man. And I'm going to display that in front of you. I'm going to help you understand what that looks like.
Yeah.
And I'm going to help you become that and not killing everything that's in you. Because if my son wants to cook, I want you to be an amazing chef.
Yeah.
I want you to be.
Yeah.
The kitchen isn't just a woman's place anymore. Because you got some amazing chefs and guys who like to cook. And for instance, I'm a grown man and I don't grill well. You're like, yeah, I'm willing to say that out there in public.
I'm like, dang, thanks for letting me know.
But I had enough sense. I had enough sense to understand, okay, well, I don't do it, but I went and got me a chef that does grill.
Yeah.
I went and got a man. So even my son's seeing a man cooking on the grill.
Oh, okay, sure.
So I had to make sure, because on my wife's side, it's dominated with women.
Gotcha.
Dominated with women. And my son would spend a lot of time with my wife, but I would make him, come here. Sit down here with me. Me and you're going to talk, or me and you're going to go somewhere and just hash everything out. Let me help you understand some things. And most of the time, our generation didn't take the time to teach the generation behind us. Why do men do this? Why are men supposed to be this?
So I got a question, because I hear you talking a lot about gender roles specifically, what men do, what women do, and we are aware that we're living in a society that's evolving, and roles are not always the same. There's some women, they're the breadwinner in a house. That's because of their field or whatever. There are some men, like you mentioned, that love to cook. So in saying that, there is we don't make it black or white, right? But the dynamics of gender roles are evolving.
So that's what I wanted to get into when I was saying we want to take biology out of it, right? Biology cannot be taken out of this. And so there are certain things that testosterone does. It's there's nothing sexist about this. We're talking about biology here. There are certain things that testosterone creates. There's certain aggressions. There's certain thoughts. There are certain physical traits that testosterone happens. Is it sexist to say? I got into a huge debate. All right, so my daughter, I don't let her take out the trash. All right,
Same.
I don't.
Great.
I got 3. She got 3 older brothers. That's what they do, okay? Well, I got into a huge argument about this. And to me, it all goes back to biology. Testosterone creates more muscle mass. Why would God sit there and give a group of people more muscle mass and make them stronger, make them faster, make them leaner? Why would he do that? Bigger. If it wasn't for
A role.
protection.
A role.
Yeah.
A role.
So this is not like
That's good,
this is
That's
not,
very good.
This is not a sexist thing when we're talking about gender roles here.
Yeah.
I believe a man is supposed to protect
Right.
because physically that's what we can do. And so I think that is something that we always want to brush off the table. I don't think we can brush biology off the table when dealing with a topic such as this, because testosterone, muscle mass, all these different things has to do with what we do.
Yeah.
As well as estrogen.
Absolutely.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
It's the
As well as
opposite
estrogen.
side. Yeah.
True story. Can't
Yeah.
be denied.
Exactly. Y'all, this is so good. What I want to do, though, just very quickly, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. But I want you guys to put this in your head. So when we come back, this is where we're going to go. This is a part of the synopsis that was sent to everybody. So we've been talking a lot about kind of personally, the masculinity crisis really kind of just in our homes or just in the world. But has the church been overly feminized? Have men found more relatable options outside of the church? Because a lot of times we feel like the church is more dominated by females. Why is that? Why is there not connection for men that are more masculine in the church? I hate to say it, and I love a good praise and worship and all of that, but a lot of churches that I go to, the leaders that are men are very feminine, and so it's just like, and I know there's guys that I've dated in the past, and I said, well, why don't you come and join me at church? Maybe they're not a regular churchgoer, and I don't want to sit in it. That's their approach. So let's think about that, just kind of as the masculinity crisis overall as it pertains to the church when we come back. All right, you guys, stay tuned. Hold on them stones. I see y'all judging. We'll be right back after this.
Lay hold of it. You lay hold of it. And when that thing tells you to quit, you look at it in his eye and say, I ain't going nowhere. I will break you before you break me. You will not defeat me. You will not destroy me. Some of you are so ignorant. You've been through so much hell. You won't quit now. You don't quit now. It's the 10th round. You got 2 more to go. And when you get to success, it's not about skill. When you get to a certain level of success, it's about stamina.
I'm a true champion.
And because you didn't step on your stage, somebody broke right now. Somebody going through it right now. Somebody hurt right now. And yeah, you got a big house. And yeah, you got a car. But they don't have theirs. And somehow you thought that only you getting your house was what it was all about. I told you the dream ain't for you. The dream is for others.
Lazy people don't get the dream. Here's the thing you gotta understand. God gave you the dream, but he expected you to work it. That dream didn't come from you. That dream came from God. But what he expected you to do was do something with the dream to make it manifest on this earth.
I'm a true champion.
And we are back. You guys are locked live to Believers After Dark right here on Saved and the City TV. Discussion is the crisis of masculinity in the church. Has the church been overly feminized? Have men found more relatable options outside of the church? How do men reclaim their rightful roles in the church and family and teach their sons? And that's what we're kind of talking about in the beginning of the conversation. And then the statement goes on to say, without being labeled sexist or homophobic. And so, Jolanda, I know something kind of stood up in you when we went off air.
So there's a commentator that says it's a paradox. The church might be the most homophobic and the most homotolerant of any institution in the Black community. And Brandy was talking earlier that you see in the church a lot of men that are feminine. And so my question to you,
and beyond feminine, they're gay.
They're okay. Both.
Yeah, now that I think about it,
then the gay. I just want to give a shout out for the boys raised by their grandmas that just don't have the manly swag. They got to learn it. Masculinity is taught and mentored. I just learned that. So I'm just wondering from you two as men of God that are mentoring other men, what does that look like for you in terms of the balance of being homophobic and being homotolerant? And I want to frame this with, I work with people that have SSA, same-sex attraction, and are looking to come out of it, et cetera, et cetera. So that is my position on it. I also have a brother who's gay, and I've seen him be beat down in church, in ministries, heard about things where people have just kind of went in on him for his lifestyle. I don't agree with it, but he's still my brother, and I'll beat you up. And so the other part of that is, how do you love that? How do you mentor that into full masculinity if that's what that person wants?
I think what you said at the very end is important. If that's what that person wants, I can't mentor something into you that you're not willing to accept, right? And so that is very key. I think another thing that we need to address is the over-feminization of Jesus.
What? Let's talk about it. I don't know what that means. I haven't seen him over-feminized.
Well, this long-haired...
Oh, you mean the lily white? I see the white-sized of Jesus.
But when you think about Jesus, right?
Oh, they do show him very soft.
Very soft.
Yeah, okay.
Very highlights. Everything.
Bluest eyes.
The bluest of eyes.
The bluest of eyes. He's just this hippie picking lilies with his friends.
I don't see Jesus that way.
But Jesus does have both a masculine and feminine.
Absolutely.
Yes. And he can be soft.
Absolutely. Okay. However, the things that I read in my Bible did not come from a soft person.
Correct.
The love that he showed it's not soft at all.
The tables he's tossed. I cannot.
Or the areas that he went in, knowing that he was going to be killed.
Oh yes, that's with no flinch. Yeah,
no flinch. No, we're walking this way.
No, totally.
There is a masculinity that is hidden when we talk about Jesus for some reason.
That's interesting.
And so
might that be a reflection of why the church is?
It is. I can't say that's the only reason why, but I believe that is some of the reasons why that people identify with this softer version of Christianity. When you think about the religions, right? You think about the Muslim religion and you think about the Jewish religion. When you think about what's the softest? Christianity. Christians ain't about to do nothing. We ain't about to go out.
Oh, you mean in that regard? Yes.
We're not about to go out on the street and we're not going to do that, right?
We're the most tolerant.
We'll preach to each other. Back to that tolerance,
right.
Yeah.
We're the most tolerant.
So, I do believe that it has something to do with it. I don't think it's the only reason why, but it has something to do with the fact that we've really feminized Jesus.
Yeah.
And there are parts of the word he's personified as mother. Can a mother forget a child? So how can a father forget you? So I think there is that balance
duality.
of him, but I feel what you're saying though.
Yeah. Right.
I think the other part to that is, to answer your question.
But we're not Jesus, so we can't.
I think part of it is how it's been the homosexual. What did you say? How it's been.
What did I say? That without being labeled sexist or homophobic?
No.
Okay.
How it's been the most homophobic and the most homotolerant.
Yes, sir.
A lot of times, it's tolerated because it's being used. By that I mean, if you're a musician that has those issues, if you're a great singer and you have those issues, it's tolerated because I can use
That's
you.
what breaks my heart, honestly.
I can use you to further my goals,
Yeah.
But I don't tolerate you. I'm using you.
Wow.
And so that's why. But it's reality in a lot of situations. And so that's why I'm not looking to get you free, because I don't care what you do outside of this building. I just want you to bring your voice when you come in. I want you to bring your skills, your talents, because really, you are a hireling for me. Because I'm not really pastoring you. Because for the most part, outside of this place, we don't talk to one another. Our relationship is you do what you do, I give you money. But as far as helping you get out of it,
That sounds like a pimp.
Wow, for some, I guess it could be.
to a certain extent, but I'm hiring you to do something, and that's all I'm expecting you to do. Now, you're not going to get up and preach. You ain't going to get a small group. You're not going to do any of that. But that's why I think when you said it's the most homophobic, yeah, it is, because they don't want to be labeled as that. But it's the most tolerant because you got something I need.
I think it goes even a step further. I think there are some ministries like the one that you're talking about that it is more based on what's your skill set, and if it'll help me get to my goal of getting more people in the place, to pay more, to do more, to whatever this thing is that they have in their mind. But I think for other ministries it's something else. I think it's secretive. I think that sometimes it's beyond I just want you to serve and leave. I think that I know that there are people that you said that you're not going to be able to get up and preach. I know people that are full out trans. Trans, not what's the difference? Not the trans, not the ones that actually have the full service, but they just dress like women. The ones that dress like women, but they aren't changed underneath.
Okay.
So they're full transsexuals.
Transvestites.
Yes, transvestites. That. And on a given night, and then they are up preaching. And so it's beyond,
There is.
And in this day and age, you can't say anything.
Sure. There is another side. And I've read and counseled many people who don't want to be this way. Right?
Exactly.
And because I don't want to paint with the broad brush right now, and I feel like that's kind of where we're going.
Because it's 30 minutes, so
But there's a group of people that don't want to be this way, and they've struggled with this piece for a long time. Whether it's because they were molested, whether it's because there's a myriad of different reasons why they don't want to be this way, right? And so I just want to, I don't want to say give them a shout out, but
shout them out for those who don't want to be there.
No. But it's real because thank you. That's where I was trying to get to. There has to be a compassionate, and you talk about how do you love or how do you mentor that? It has to come from a compassionate place. Because it can't come from a judgmental place. It can't. We can't have these when we're trying to mentor. And so it is important that compassion is being displayed when we're trying to mentor someone into a place of
freedom and deliverance.
Freedom and deliverance, because that's how Christ would have done it. Right. It has to come from a place of love. It has to come from a place of not necessarily understanding, because you might not understand it, but it has to come from a place of love. Yeah. And so it is. I just wanted to make sure that we weren't just.
But the key is, like you said, they have to want it, because I can't mentor you into a place you don't want to go.
Oh, absolutely.
And so the first thing we have to do, if we're going to help them, is we first got to deal with your thinking. How do you feel about where you are? Do you feel like it's wrong? Do you feel like you want to stop? Because I can help you if you want to stop, because I personally have worked with and helped men come out of that. We even have a small group called, I forgot the name of it.
You just said it too, off the camera.
It starts somebody with an M.
I can't remember. I can't remember it now. But anyway, we had a small group that dealt with trying to get out of the gay and lesbian lifestyle. But it
They are
was
so offended by that. Like when we say that, just so you know, I do realize for those that are watching, like they and I can't speak for them because I'm not gay, but when we say lifestyle, like that is like.
And the context of what we're saying also is we're talking about transformation.
Yeah.
People that are seeking transformation, which is what Pastor Skip is saying, as in terms of starting in the mind and have the desire that, hey, this is something that I'm exhibiting, but it's not what I want.
Right. But the Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So until we change how you think, I can't change who you are. And so even you know, and to get upset about the lifestyle. Well, I live a Christian lifestyle.
Right.
You know, I live a Christian lifestyle, and I'm not offended if you say, "Oh, you live in a Christian lifestyle." Yeah, it's exactly what
Exactly.
I'm trying to live my best Christian lifestyle if I'm going to live it.
Yeah.
But it really does start off with, first of all, the mind and how they're thinking. The other piece is they have to be safe with whoever they're dealing with.
That part.
Has to be safe.
That's really good.
Because, you know, I told my wife, I said, as a man, I will give you my money, I'll give you my time, I'll give you my effort. But unless I trust you, you'll never get my heart. And we built a trust that I trust my wife with everything. She has my full and total heart. And is if I'm going to expose myself like this to you, I first got to trust you.
Yeah.
But I cannot display how I feel about it then, because once you do that, they shut down.
Yeah.
And it's the same with a man, period.
Yeah.
If I'm trying to explain my heart to you, and you give me some sort of way making me feel like you don't like it, that's the last time you're ever hearing my heart.
Wow, you just blessed me. From
Somebody told me men
cannot
cannot take rejection. They cannot handle rejection.
So how do we?
That's not
a
true.
whole other topic.
That is not true, and I'm gonna tell you why it's not true.
Tell me why.
It's how.
I'm gonna tell you why it's not true. Because as a person who plays sports, I've got my shot blocked so many times, but I'm still shooting the next one. So it's not about me.
It's the way.
It's not about whether or not I can handle rejection. It's whether or not I want to handle rejection.
True, but I'm saying when you miss that shot, though, something in you sparks, like you go harder next time,
Right?
Because that shot was rejected. So I guess I should say rejection provokes a response. from the
Everything
man.
provokes a response. I mean, whether it be you being my cheerleader or whether you being my greatest hater, it's going to provoke a response out of me. And so I think when you understand my every actions, my every words, my every movement is going to provoke a response out of somebody. You have to be very, very mindful of what I'm doing, how I'm saying it. Because if we want to help people get delivered, we first got to make sure we don't make them think that we're self-righteous. I'm right, you're wrong.
Yep. And most of them are already.
I'm going to heaven, you're going to hell.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
So what's the point of talking?
Right.
And that's the piece. They already know that something about this ain't right. They already know that, especially when they come into a church.
True.
Yes.
True.
Because if the word does what the word does, the word convicts. You know, but it convicts you to a place of repentance. It doesn't convict you to a place of
Condemnation.
Right. It doesn't condemn, it convicts. And so if I'm teaching a word that's causing conviction, the next thing should be, okay, well then they're feeling some type of way. How do I help them to get to a better place?
That's
not just I gave birth to a clean baby, hypothetically, and then I didn't help nurture to this baby to full maturity. And so to expose that, you have a lifestyle or an issue, and then don't help me get out of that issue, why are you exposing it?
Oh.
Yeah, that's messed up.
That's good.
Like you stink, but I ain't got no deodorant.
Or no shower.
Nothing.
Or just move
but
out
I
the
just
way.
wanted you to know that. And everybody else to know.
Oh, right. And the breath. That's too much.
Right.
Joe, were you going to say something else, Pastor Skip?
No, go ahead.
Dr. Joe Peterson, final thoughts. I know, like, how do we, final thoughts? And there's so much more to go. Final thoughts and just kind of give us an overall kind of closing on, bring us home, Doc.
Sure. I think it's important that we base everything that we do in love.
Yeah.
We cannot interact with people. We cannot deliver. We cannot present the gospel without first being just drenched in love, drenched in his love. And to the point where our desires become his desires. And his desire is for everyone to be free.
Yeah.
And so I think we have to just watch ourselves, or watch the stones, and watch how we present, or watch, care enough to watch the words that you say, care enough to watch the body language that you have. And when we're dealing with people who may think differently than us, approach it in love. And I feel if that is done correctly, getting back to the two sides of Jesus, right? If that is done correctly, there can be a masculine side to it, and there can also be a more nurturing side to it as well. But at the same time, it is necessary that we have that if we're dealing with people.
I love it. How can people stay connected to you on social media or anything like that, or church or what have you?
Sure. I am one of the teaching pastors at Praise Temple International Church. And so you can connect with me there, and feel free to connect with me on Facebook as well.
Absolutely. Jolanda, final thoughts, Talk Consulting.
I'm just, again, like I said in the beginning, I'm so thankful to sit here with you guys, because I have a son, and I have a husband, and I have brothers, and I have a father, and I value the place that men of integrity, men of honor, men of God have in their life. Like, they can't be who they are without you. Just to speak to the crisis of masculinity, we need y'all. Men out there that's watching, we need you. We need your presence. Something powerful: when the man is out of place, the woman is misplaced, and the children are displaced.
Wow.
There is no hope for us without you. And I appreciate the love and compassion that you guys mentioned as we talked about the difference is in being homophobic and the homo-tolerant church. And there are some things, even if you're out there and you have those struggles, Talk Consulting. .com, reach out to us if you need to talk, if you have a desire. When I say those struggles, I mean you struggle and that's not what you want for yourself. Jesus struggled with identity. He asked the Father, can I be somebody else? Can you take this cup from me? So there's a lot of points of reconciliation with him, and he was rejected. So the rejection that they feel in the body, in the church, is the same thing. So there are men of God, there are agencies, organizations that can help reconcile you to the cross.
I love it. And then Pastor Skip, final thoughts, and then let's talk a little bit about your conference coming up. Yes.
This is definitely a conversation that touches a bunch of different issues.
It does, It kind of went where I didn't even expect a little bit. It was good, though.
But I also realize that it's also a conversation that doesn't just need to be had in the church. It needs to be had, period, in the White House, you know, across the table, during dinner table, every place where men are and where women are. Because if you know who we are, if you understand who we are, you as a helpmeet can help us be who we are.
Right.
That's so
you
good.
know, we're not asking you to take our place. We're asking you to help us get in our place.
Yeah.
And what has happened is so many women have seen men aren't in their place, so I'm going to just get there.
Yeah. Oh, that's something else.
Misplaced.
And so as a man, I try to do my best to be in my place, hold down my square, be who I am. And even, I'm a very masculine man. I'm old school. And I'm unapologetically this way. You know, there's been times my wife said, why are you so macho? I said, you knew I was this way when you met me. I'm not going to change. This is who I am. This is my DNA.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be who I am because this is the way God has made me, and I'm going to be the best me I can possibly be.
I love it. Absolutely love it. And so you can see him be the best he can possibly be at his conference coming up in October. Let's talk a little bit about that. That is insane in a great way.
Man.
Yeah, we're having
God.
a men's conference. I hold it every year, but this year we're going to have it at the Harley-Davidson Museum, and it's called Keeping It 100. And our theme this year is Dominate, and we have a guy coming in that's the #1 motivational speaker in the world right now, none other than E.T. Eric Thomas. He'll be with us, as well as and again, the theme is dominate. And so he's going to help us learn how to dominate. And now, when we think of dominating, everybody wants to dominate in whatever field they're in.
Yeah.
Nobody goes into anything to be average or mediocre.
Yeah.
You want to be at the top of your game in whatever you are. So we want to teach men, and for those of you women who want to come, we're allowing the women to show up.
So now I'm showing up.
We're having a special master's class that Eric Thomas said he's willing to do, that we're going to allow the women to come in just for that one class. And then we're going to
Hear
get
that clarification.
Mind you, you'll find me in the corner, like behind the curtain, afterward listening.
But again, it's October 11th and 12th at the Harley Davidson. That's a Friday night and a Saturday. We have we have Eric Thomas, we have Pastor Piles, we have Kenneth Locke is going to be coming. Yeah. Abundant Faith, Kenneth Locke. We also have Tim McMurtry, Pastor Tim
We've
McMurtry.
had him on Believers before.
And also Jason Nelson will be doing a concert.
I saw that.
Wow. Can we come to that too?
Just the Jason Nelson part. That's the concert.
Yeah.
Listen, you weren't supposed to be there at all because of how much I've been getting pressured, because of how much women are going.
Those flyers
really?
Are like,
will there be CDs?
No, I want to be there in real life.
Me too.
How can I volunteer? Let me serve.
Really?
Can we?
You know what? Honestly, we do need volunteers, and so
there you go, ladies.
If you want to sign up to volunteer, go to worldoutreachbtc.org and somebody can help you get on the list. But listen, we want you to be able to come and eat for the women and the men. We want you to be able to dominate. I got Shannon Vick, who is a personal trainer. Yeah. And he's going to help us learn how to dominate in our bodies. We also have Hayes. John Hayes is coming. He's over HR. He's going to show us how to dominate on our workplace, how to get our good resumes, we want to touch you in everywhere you could be touched, men, to learn how to dominate and to be the best man you could possibly be. Wow. So, and also I'm speaking. So
just that. Hey. Love it.
Thank you for the fans. But again, I didn't want to do a men's conference that was like the ones I've seen before. And nothing against them, but I wanted to do something that was going to leave an impact on people and change lives. Yeah. That 3 months from now, you're starting to work on a plan on how to make your life better. Not how good you looked or what they said was amazing. No, they inspired me to make myself better. Yeah. And that's the type of conference this is.
I'm excited, y'all. It's absolutely going on. Even in 100, all the above will be happening. Again, the dates are October
11th and 12th.
11th and 12th, and it's happening at the Harley Davidson Museum.
Also, you get as a participant at buying or registering and paying for your ticket, you also get a free ticket to the Harley Museum.
Look at that for the men.
And lunch is being served.
Oh, the men get to eat.
Food?
You can't have men without food.
True story. Well, you have 2 volunteers, Pastor
Skip. Exactly. It's already said.
We're going to partner and be accountable to each other.
All right.
Well, see, what you can do is sign up.
We're going to wear T-shirts and everything.
You can sign up to come to the conference for the master's class. I'm sure you want to be in
I'm so going to be there.
But then you can help volunteer on the other time.
Exactly. It's already done. It's been said on camera.
See y'all in October.
Exactly. Oh my God. Thank you guys so much for being here for another episode of Believers After Dark. Again, the topics that we talk about, they're real, raw, uncut, but they're absolutely necessary. These are real opinions, real thoughts that we have. But again, if you guys have thoughts, make sure that you post them below, or if you have a topic that you want us to discuss on another show, don't hesitate to email me at savedandthecitymke@gmail.com, and also don't hate. savedandthecitymke@gmail.com. Again, we've been talking about the crisis of masculinity in the church, and we can go beyond and say, in the world. And so again, we can't solve all of these world issues in 30 minutes or a little more than 30 minutes right here on the show, but we can at least take time and start the conversation. So hopefully that's evoked something in you, and you can take it to your kitchen table or to your church, and we can go on a little bit further around the world. Again, I've been your host, Iberia. Thanks so much for tuning in, and until next week, be encouraged. Bye. Okay. I don't know. I just wish I could just see. I wish I had a big mirror over there. I can't see stuff.
I'll get you one.
Okay.
Just get you an iPad and use it as a monitor.
Oh. I do have
use your iPad as a monitor.
Come on and mentor me, Pastor.
You can just hang off right the front there.
See, I don't know.
Reasons we need men in the church.
Oh, there we go. Is that the only one?
For technology?
Technology and grilling for the picnic.
That's how everything in my house runs. Wait, we should be on the show saying these things.
I know. Okay, and we're We're out. Excellent. Thank you, fellas and lady.
You know what's crazy is
Chandra,
the beginning of
do you mind taking one?
taking masculinity from the men started in slavery. It's really when it started. When, first of all, they take the husband out the house.
I wanted to bring that up.
But the other thing they would do is men that were real strong men, they would have other men sleep with him and take his manhood away from him.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, but you don't want to start going into that because
Thank you.
accountability partner.
I do. I need somebody to be like, come on, Ring, let's just go. Because I'll be waking up like.
I think.
Oh, while we talking, we need to get back into it. I'm sorry. We're going to have another.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, Joel.
No, I'm going to say it on
the camera. Okay,
I
excellent.
love Joe. Say I ain't never scared.
No.
Pop the trunk. We could do this Christ-like, or we can get into some real gangster stuff.
Straight gangster. OG, triple OG.
Let me know. Just give us the 5, 4, 3 when you're ready.
3, 2, 1.